This is just a $10 piece of metal I bought off of Amazon. It's a physical representation of the digital cryptocurrency Bitcoin. And just like Wokeism, it's not worth anything, but it does look kind of pretty. I'm going to tell you how Wokeism is a lot like crypto. Although cryptocurrencies have been around for a few years now, it's still a new scene, it's still an emerging technology. And the vast majority of people investing in crypto have no idea what crypto really is or how the underlying technology works. Its value is derived entirely from speculating investors trying to make a buck off the hype. Its value could drop tomorrow by 50% and it wouldn't surprise me at all. In 2017, when it really got picked up, it went from $1,000 per coin to $20,000 per coin by the end of the year. It started to gain traction, no one wanted to get left behind, and then by a combination of knowledgeable investors, but mostly just panic buyers, Bitcoin took off. It then worked in the opposite direction. Bitcoin's rise began to flutter out, and then for a number of reasons, a cascading series of events happened and people began to panic sell. By the end of 2018, it had crashed all the way down to a measly $3,500 per coin. FOMO took Bitcoin from $1 to $20,000. And then FOMO took Bitcoin from $20,000 all the way down to less than $4,000. And of course, since then it's taken off on another bull run. And could it crash tomorrow? Maybe. And Bitcoin is just one digital currency. There are thousands of other tokens, the vast majority of them being absolutely worthless. And Wokeism is in many ways the exact same way. And here is how. Here is the mechanical inner workings of Wokeism. How it starts, how it takes off in moments of hype, how it crashes, and how we ultimately don't know if it will ever die forever or live on for an eternity. Now, Wokeism manifested doesn't look like any one thing. It comes and goes in iterations. And for each of these iterations to happen, they've got to happen in a culture where people are looking to hype these kinds of things. You've got to understand why taking the woke position is so appealing to so many people. So someone comes along and they make some sort of claim. And the claim always has large upside potential for the adopter of the claim and large downside potential for the naysayer. It's a cycle of discovery, adoption, and ultimately abandonment that comes and goes extremely fast. Each iteration is considered an absolute must. Some woke elitist will come along and invent some new way to push the left's line even further with some new talking point. And then in a matter of seconds, the woke mob will adopt that talking point. As fast as a thing can possibly be adopted, it gets adopted. Because no one wants to be the last person supporting the currently relevant social justice cause. And I say relevant because what currently matters evolves in and out of different forms so quickly. It's a spectacle to watch from the outside, and if you are on the outside, you see the mad game plainly for what it is. A bunch of frantic, impressionable, eager to please little ninnies looking to get some recognition for playing along with the band. And see, this psychology is the exact same thing we find in the crypto trading world. You thirstily scour the internet, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, whatever, looking for any tidbit or hint as to which coin might soon take off so that you can get in before it does and watch your investments go to the moon. It can be rewarding, but for most people it's just gambling, and a lot of people lose a lot of money. You didn't know anything about the coin 10 seconds before you bought it. You don't know anything about the coin. You don't care about the coin. But what you do care about is the hype, and you don't want to miss out on that hype. Similarly, you didn't care about the latest woke talking point 10 seconds before it came relevant. You jumped onto the hype train. That's all you did. You might pride yourself on being the kind of person who cared about the issues before they were relevant, but you didn't. You care about the recognition you will get. You care about the virtue that you might emit. When people buy crypto, they don't buy to hold. They buy to sell at the top. And then the second that they do, they start looking for the next coin to jump onto before it takes off. See, they couldn't care less about the coin or its underlying technology. I mean, do you think that most of the buyers of Dogecoin know a damn thing about crypto? No, they didn't. It was fake all the way up, and it will be fake all the way down. People buy in for the hype, and then they sell at the top. And when people care so much about the woke talking point this week, they care until it isn't hot news anymore. They care until they've sucked it dry, until there's no more glory in it for themselves. When everyone cares about a thing, everyone wants you to know that they care about it the most, until everyone jumps to the next invention, the next great thing. And this game goes on, sometimes in the form of constructing new values, and sometimes in the form of tearing down long-held cultural values. Sometimes harmless, sometimes fairly dangerous. The appeal of the next hype item isn't in how truthy it is. These iterations aren't the result of newfound ethical or philosophical discovery. They are sophomoric ideas that thrive or die on their ability to pass one formula or filter. Does adopting this idea seemingly provide large upside potential for the adopter? And does rebuking the holder of the idea expose the rebuker to large downside risk? Or more directly, can someone publicly adopt the claim, making themselves look more virtuous, whether it's true or not? And is the person at a low risk of getting backlash because for someone to give backlash, they'd have to make some counterpoints that aren't pretty? And to give some known touchy examples, it is easy to say that black people are arrested by cops at a higher rate than whites simply because cops are racist. And it can also make them look virtuous because they're taking on a certain type of savior complex. They're protecting the victim. And it would be hard for someone to make any kind of appropriate counterpoint, say that they think that black people commit a disproportionate amount of crime, because you will get branded as some sort of insensitive racist or bigot. So we end up with this racism narrative that just goes on and on, getting no kind of healthy pushback, so it just becomes more and more extreme until you get to this ridiculous point where over 50% of liberals believe that 1,000 unarmed black men are shot by cops each year. Or even crazier than that, over 30% believe that over 10,000 are shot each year, when the actual number is something like 12, as it was in 2019. And the same sort of thing plays out with all sorts of other issues: transgenderism, the minimum wage, immigration. And if you take a moment to examine the scene for most of these issues, you can usually identify that one side makes grand virtuous claims, substantiated or not, and the claim is always framed in such a way that to give the appropriate counterpoint, one would have to get their hands dirty. But we've got to get our hands dirty because sometimes that's what it takes to get to the hard truth. So maybe consider going at it with some woke pinhead the next time that they try taking a sensitive issue and staking out a position just for the sake of virtue signaling. Go after them. They aren't more virtuous than you. They're just saying what's easy. What they're saying doesn't hold any water. So to wrap it up, crypto and wokeism are alike in that they are both self-perpetuating hype engines fed by greedy participants afraid to miss out. For crypto junkies, that's buying a coin at $1 and fear that you'll miss out on riding it all the way to $10. For the woke, it's jumping onto the latest social justice warrior issue to gain as much recognition for your virtue as you can while you can. Crypto eventually crashes as people realize it has no intrinsic value, and then this effect cascades and people panic sell. This happened big time in 2018, it's been on another bull run, but it'll happen again. Wokeism has also been on a bull run. But if your average person decides to start getting involved and not be a coward, then we'll start to see some serious backlash against the woke left. And as quickly and fearfully as its proponents jumped onto the train, they will also abandon the train for fear of being the last person still on board the Idiot Express. Alright, so everything I said about crypto was total bullcrap. Crypto's awesome, I own some crypto, I think the underlying technology is awesome, I think it's the future. If you've picked up some interest in crypto but you don't know where to start, I'm giving $1,000 worth of Bitcoin to the first 10 people who comment on the video below. Give me some feedback. Am I just completely off? Do I need to spend more time on my scripts? Do I need better audio? Let me know what you think. Leave some feedback, leave your wallet's public address, and I'll get you started with some of your very own crypto. And I'll leave a link in the description with a step-by-step guide on how to set up your crypto wallet if that's not something you've done before.